Hey guys, TKC here, TheKaijudoChannel, and I'm finally back from the awesome trip down in Texas, the Winter Championships, the very first Winter Championships. I had a very awesome time, and I'm going to use this video to pretty much just sum up everything that happened, all the things I got to do, and yada yada yada. So Friday, I took the day off work, and I had to fly down there, and it took really long. I got to the airport at about like 10 or 11 in the morning, and then I ended up getting there at like midnight Texas time, which was like pretty much half a day of flying and stuff and delays. So I pretty much got there and then crashed after testing a lot, testing with an interesting deck that I've been working on for about a week or so. So I went to bed, woke up, bam, Saturday. At the beginning of Saturday, they held this awesome panel to kind of just reveal some interesting things here and there, and the first thing they revealed right off the bat is the new promo card that they gave to everyone there. That is this card right here, the awesome winter promo for this year, which is Snow Fort. So last time it was Old Man Winter, which was also really awesome, but this one's really awesome too. Snow Fort Cyber Complex. I'll go ahead and put the image right here so you can get a clear image of what it looks like. So Snow Fort, it's a level 7, 9,000 power blocker. Cyber Complex is its race. It has guard, so it has two really awesome abilities. The first one is Snowball Fight. Whenever one of your creatures attacks, you may discard a card. If you do, target enemy creature can't attack or block until the start of your next turn, which is really cool. And then I'm Melting. When an Armored Dragon or Melt Warrior attacks, whether it's yours or your opponent's, you banish the creature outright. It just melts because of, fire breathing and stuff like that. So this card is actually very interesting. This is a lot different than Old Man Winter in that this card is actually somewhat playable. And this kind of worries me a bit because the availability of this card is, very low. Not many people got this. There's probably only about like 100 to 200 of this card in existence right now. Now, the way I see this card, I see this like a quicker Squillace Scourge in a way. Basically, level 7, you get this out, and then let's say you have a creature like General Finbar or, the new Corrupted Seneschal that, you could attack, get a free card, and then use that card or one of your other cards to discard it as you're attacking, and then bam, that creature can't block or attack, and that could also be, an Armored Dragon or a Melt Warrior so that they can't just attack and get rid of this. So in a way, you can pretty much just like attack, lock the blocker, attack, lock your attacker so you can't revenge kill me, attack, and you go for game from there pretty much. And like they can't attack or block until the start of your next turn. So you're pretty much like using a Tritonus effect every time you attack at the cost of a card. But when you have cards like General Finbar that you keep on drawing cards and stuff, it really doesn't matter. So this card is actually very interesting and could be somewhat playable in the future. So I would definitely keep a good eye on this card because it is very interesting. Now, right after they talked about the promo card, they introduced a new product and a new format to Kaijudo, which is really cool. It's called Booster Brawl. Basically, this product's going to be coming out in February of next year. You buy the product and you get 8 packs and 3 brand new promo cards, which are really cool. And you basically open up all these packs, you lay them out face down, you include the 3 promo cards, which I'll show later, and then you basically, shuffle it up, you make this big pile, and then it's a 2-player game, just like a regular game of Kaijudo, and you set down 5 shields each from this big pile. Then you take 5 cards from the top of the deck, you lay it on the side in the zone called the Veil, and basically players each turn will take turns drafting the card they like from the Veil to add to their hand, and then draw a card from the big stack. Now, you don't start with any cards in your hand at the very beginning because you're going to be drawing 2 cards every turn. So the game goes really fast because it starts slow at the beginning, but then once you get in the mid game and the late game, you just have so many different options in your hand, and you're just like getting a bunch of cards, and bam, you just pretty much end the game from there. Now, the player who starts doesn't get to draw from the deck when you draft first, so basically the card you're getting from the Veil is basically going straight into Mana Zone, or if you really want to keep it and you're desperate, you just keep it in your hand, you don't charge mana. Now, when the Veil is completely gone, basically when you draft one of the cards in the Veil, you have to refill the Veil first and then draw your card. Now, apparently there's a lot of different understandings of this. Like on the mat, it says the opposite of that, where you have to draw first and then you draft. And it gets kind of confusing, but hopefully the product is going to make it a lot more clear on how the format's going to work. Hopefully they're also going to be taking our feedback on the format. Maybe they're going to change the rules up a bit. But for now, it's basically you draft from the Veil first and then you draw from the deck. Now, if the deck is completely empty, you deck out, no one loses. Originally, they were planning that both players just lose the game out there, but they said no, the game happens too fast. There's not many cards, and the cards, go away really quickly. So they're like, okay, basically you just take the discard pile, shuffle it up, and then you make it the new deck in a way. So no one can lose by deck out. And so you just play a normal game of Kaijudo like that, and there you go. It looks like a lot of fun. I tried it with Ryan Miller on Sunday morning, and all the competitors from the championships got to try it on the Saturday, so that's really cool too. They got like a bunch of packs, a bunch of awesome stuff, and some people got the 3 new promo cards too before anyone else can get their hands on it. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about those 3 cards right now, quickly. So 3 cards. First one is Kolani Dragon Oracle. It is a Water Civ Tsunami Dragon, level 7, 6,000 power, double breaker, and the ability Whispering Waves. When this creature enters the battle zone, you look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put one of them into your hand and the other on top of your deck. If you have Nyx on the field, you're going to be drawing 2 regardless, so that's kind of irrelevant in a way. But there's that. Kalani, I don't know, it's definitely interesting. Very, very cool card. It's definitely really good in this format anyway, in Booster Brawl, because it's just this big double breaker, and it draws you cards too, which is really important as well. Cool, and also this is really cool in Booster Brawl, because basically you look at the top 2, and maybe you want the second card, and the second one goes to you, while the first card goes to them. So this card is mainly for Booster Brawl, so that's why that's there. So yeah, very, very cool card. Now the next one is really awesome too. It is a Fire Nature card by the name of Krakatoa the Shattered. It's an Armor Dragon and a Living City. Level 6, 5,000 power with the ability Rousing Bellow. When this creature enters the battle zone, you may put a non-evolution creature that is level 4 or less from your hand into the battle zone, and that creature gets fast attack until the end of the turn. And at the end of the turn, you put it into your mana zone. So this is really, really cool. It's a very aggressive card. In a way, it's kind of like Tetsuya the Champion. It's not as aggressive though, because Tetsuya the Champion, it could come into play. You hit a fire card that goes into mana, and then you could double break with that with fast attack. But this one is more like, oh, I'm gonna play this, and then I'm gonna play a really cool level 4. Preferably something like Aqua Seneschal, or something that like does something when it comes into play or when it attacks. That would be really good. So you just bam, you swing with that, and then at the end of the turn, if they don't deal with that creature, then boom, you get free mana at the end of the turn. So yeah, very, very cool ability. Also a very strong ability for the Booster Brawl format, so it's going to be a really fun card. And lastly is probably a card that's going to be good in a lot more formats than just Booster Brawl, and that is Spire Widow, a level 8, 2,000 power, Light Darkness, Skyweaver / Brainjacker. It has Slayer, which is really cool, and it has Unweaving, which is basically the best ability on this card. When this creature enters the battle zone, choose target enemy creature. Your opponent shuffles it into his or her deck. That's right, this is not just a Terror Pit flat out, it's just bam, take that creature, it is gone. It's in your deck, you have to go look for it again. Bam. Now, this card is very, very interesting. I could easily see this in control decks or stuff like that. I guess it's not as good as like a Mark of Kalima in those Mono Darkness Kalima control decks, because you get rid of 2 creatures, but at least this has a body. This gets rid of 1 creature outright, and then you could potentially get rid of another one because it has Slayer. So that's really cool, and it's really important that it has 2,000 power, because if it had too much power, then it wouldn't be easy to get rid of. So this card easily gets banished by things like Snake Trap or Rock Bite or things like that. So that's really important that the card isn't too powerful. But Spire Widow is definitely probably my favorite card, and it's a lot of people's favorite card from the 3 promos in the Booster Brawl. Alright, now with Booster Brawl out of the way, let's go ahead and sum up all the other things I talked about in the panel, some questions they answered, things like that. They confirmed that organized play is going to be around for another 2 more years. So that's really exciting to hear. Another 4 more seasons. There's going to be another Summer Champs and another Winter Champs, which is going to be really awesome as well. And like they did with this year's Champs, the Summer Champs is going to be like exclusive to the competitors, so that the Saturday is going to be their exclusive R&D day, while the Winter Champs is going to be like it was this time around, where it's going to be more open. And it's going to be in various different locations. So like the Summer Championship one is always going to be in Seattle, and they're always going to do the same thing there. And then for the Winter Champs, they're going to go all over the place. So maybe they're going to go to Florida, maybe they're going to go up in Canada for once. Things like that. That would be really, really cool. In addition, they said for the next seasons of KMCs, they're going to be updating the prize structure a little bit. They're going to try to set a preset pack structure depending on the amount of players. So that way local stores don't have to decide for themselves what they want to do with packs. It's going to be kind of more fixed to what WotC wants it to be, and I think that's pretty cool. It's pretty important that, you know, everyone walks away happy in the end. And also, most importantly, the civilization prizes are going to be changed a little bit. The prizes are going to be spread out to not just the best in each civilization, but we're going to split it out to the best 3 in each civilization, so that, you know, people who choose the same civilization who are in like the top 8, for example, don't walk away with nothing. It's happened many times where the first place person picks a civilization, and someone in like 3rd or 4th picks the same one, and then they walk away with basically nothing, even though they got like 3rd or 4th, which is a really, really strong position to be in. So hopefully with this, you know, top 3 flattening, you know, it'll spread out the prizes to a lot more people, and a lot more people will be happy. In addition to all the civilization prizes, they're also going to be giving out an exclusive playmat to anyone who participates in a KMC. So basically just enter and bam, you get a KMC playmat, which is going to be really, really cool. I'm just surprised that WotC is going to be able to, you know, provide so many playmats for everybody. So, you know, Prince Rupert, if they get a KMC again, you know, in Good Times Games, I'm sure they will get another one. They're going to have to give out like 100-something playmats to everybody, so that's going to be absolutely insane. So yeah, KMCs are going to be, you know, overall a lot better. Someone asked if they're going to be doing limited tournaments anytime soon, and Kieran just simply said one word: yes. So he doesn't want to give away any details yet, but in the future, you know, constructed events are not going to be the only events out there. They're going to be limited ones as well. Potentially even booster brawl events, but we're really not sure about that. I think they wanted to make it more of a casual format, but it has a really good chance of being, you know, a limited organized play format. I believe Ryan Last from Good Times Games, he asked about if there are going to be any more sample decks to give out, because they've been giving out so many that they're just completely out of stock of those sample decks. And Wizards basically replied that yes, they're planning a new round of sample decks, not just the old ones that they've been keeping on giving. They're going to be actually making 5 brand new decks to give out in demo, which is really, really cool. And in addition to that, they're going to be making a 6th one that's also going to be free, just like the other ones. But the 6th one is going to be special in that it's geared to be a lot more competitive. So it's going to be kind of like the triple strike deck, where it's, you know, very close to being competitive, and it is the demo deck that you really want to show your friends how to play Kaijudo, because apparently it's like the best one, the most fun, and whatever. And they said that the code name for it is DKD. I have no idea what that's going to be, but I guess we'll find out eventually next year. And lastly, the last important question of note that I saw was if Ray's dad is ever going to be a card in Kaijudo, and Kieran simply just said yes in the 5 Mystics, and everyone's like, whoa, okay. So in the 5 Mystics, I guess you should expect Ray's dad as like a light nature enforcer mega bug thing. I think that's what he is. I don't remember, but anyways. So with all that said and done, the panel was over. Everyone, you know, got ready to booster brawl for the competitors, and I got ready to do LCQs. So I went in with a light water dark nature mid-rangey thing that I worked on with Vu. Thanks Vu for that, but unfortunately I didn't do too well. I basically lost the first round to none other than Kaijudo girl Lacey, who was using a really cool 3 Civ Evo rush thing. It was really cool. I had Victory Gunner and stuff like that. Very strong deck. It destroyed me. I think it was 2-1 or maybe even 2-0 for her. So good job, Lacey. But then the next round I got a bye. So I'm like, okay, this is a really bad condition to be in. So I took the time to kind of just like look around the event and see what decks are being played, because I'm just kind of curious what's going on here, and see if, you know, my prediction was right, if there were going to be a lot of tempo decks or things like that. And I was kind of surprised in that there were still a lot of Haven decks out there, even without Bottle. So I was like, oh, okay, wow, interesting. So I took note of that, and then I dropped it out of that tournament, and I went to the second LCQ, because the second LCQ basically started in the middle or at the end of round 3. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to jump ship, I'm going to go right there, and I'm going to work on a new deck, because I didn't like the deck I was using. It wasn't really good for the meta there. So I took a really huge risk in the second LCQ, and I kind of regret it a little bit. I should have went with a little bit more of a safer deck, like Dragons or something like that, but I ended up going out with Monolite Rush. I don't know why, I just had this weird feeling that Monolite Rush would be really good against the field, and I guess it didn't do too good. All my losses in the second LCQ were to draw return members trying to get an invite, which is pretty funny. Matt Robinson, Ryan Valentino, and Brian Starner, who was using a really funny Rotworm Rush deck. So I lost to all you guys. Good job. And then I won 2 other ones. So I won 2-3 sadly, and I didn't make it. I got like, you know, 10th or whatever. So yeah, that was the story of that LCQ, and then since I already went so far into that LCQ, LCQ3 was already long gone, so I couldn't enter that. So tiers, I didn't qualify yet again, but that's okay. I'm going to try again and again and see if I could, get into the championships for once. That'd be really, really cool. I'm going to work really hard at it. Some notable people who qualified. We got Jared Dockstader, who qualified again. He like entered every single LCQ, and then the third one he got in. So props to you there. Gorby from Team Peach got in. So basically all of Team Peach besides Carl Reddish, who was doing a really good job with commentary, he qualified. And then I guess also Joshua Clark, he also made it. He's the guy from Oklahoma. He's using a light fire rush deck, really cool deck, so props to you. So that's pretty much it for the Saturday. I'm going to end the video here. It's going to be a first part recap. This is probably already going to be like a 15-minute video, so yeah, a lot to talk about thanks to the panel and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut right now, and I'm going to do a second part later on. Either it's going to be this week or maybe next week. I'm not really sure exactly, but stay tuned for that, guys. So this is TKC, The Kaijudo Channel, signing off. See you later, guys.